From Tokyo to Abu Dhabi, meet the man who gets the gold. We're live with Israel's judo champion, Sagi Muki. I'm Michael Dixon, and this is Stand With Us Connect. Hello and welcome to Stand With Us Connect. We're coming to you live from Israel. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you're well wherever you are. And as you know, Stand With Us is working around the clock supporting Israel and fighting anti-Semitism. It's great, as always, to connect with you. We have another great show for you today. Coming up, I'll be joined by Israeli judo champion Sagi Muki. Now, our show today is part of a brand new platform, Stand With Us TV. What is Stand With Us TV, I hear you ask? Well, let's take a look.
When COVID-19 hit, we launched live shows on Zoom, broadcasting over 30 times. With some amazing guests, our shows were being viewed 1 million times. Now, it's time to take it to the next level. Presenting Stand With Us TV. Harnessing the power of our social media, which reaches millions every week, we'll be bringing you brand new shows every week. We will uncover amazing stories related to Israel and the Jewish people. We will take you to historical sites all over Israel. We will help you find answers to the toughest questions about Israel. We will show you Israel's diversity so you can get to know the people of our country. And we will interview top personalities that you don't want to miss. You get access to all of our quality shows and curated video content. Unlike Zoom, you sign up just once and you have access forever. And it's totally free. If you can't come to Israel, we'll bring Israel to you. Welcome to Stand With Us TV.
You can check out all of our video content without any cost at standwithus.tv, but do it straight after the show, not yet, because today's show is streaming all across Stand With Us digital platforms, and it's never been easier to get involved. You can post a comment during the show, and it will come up right across the screen, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or any other platform. You can also post questions in the comments to be asked live to our guest, so please do get interactive with us today. And don't forget, if you love the work of Stand With Us, you can help support it, help support our work to fight anti-Semitism and support Israel around the world. Go to standwithus.com/donate to support our work. Now, our guest today is a two-time Israeli judo champion. He won the gold in the under 81 kilogram category at the 2019 World Judo Championships. In addition to being the first Israeli male world champion, he's also a two-time European Championship winner. Joining us live, it is my pleasure to welcome Sagi Muki. Sagi, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, how are you? I'm so happy to be with you because I'm following you and I see all you're doing for Israel all over the world. So God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And how have you been doing during these crazy few months?
Wow, I can tell you it wasn't easy for me because in 2019, it was amazing year for me, and I became world champion. I won 4 gold medals and the hardest tournaments, and 2 of them and more 2 silver medals. So I've been in a good momentum. I fell in a good shape and ready for Tokyo 2020, and then we can see that the Olympics delayed, and it's not that easy for me to get this, to understand this. But you need to face the reality. You need to understand that the Olympic delayed. So a few days it took me to understand it. But as an athlete, I understand that I need to go out from this frustrated and focus on Tokyo 2021. So I told to myself, I'm still Sagi Muki. I have 1 more year to get better. And now I'm all the way to Tokyo 2021.
That's great. And we will, of course, be cheering you on. A couple of weeks ago, the entire Israeli national judo men's team went into isolation, bidud as they call it in Israel, including you. So how is everybody doing?
Thank you for asking. Everybody's well. We've been in a training camp at the north for 1 week, and one of the guys had a coronavirus. And when we did the check, more 2 guys figure out that they have the corona because they got it from him. So we are all have been in isolation. I just went out this Saturday, and but everybody is feeling good. They also who had the corona, it slowly get behind him. So thank you for asking. It wasn't that easy because also we've been at home 2 weeks. I have a backyard, and also on the first lockdown that I had around March. So before they told they are gonna delay the Olympics. So with the first lockdown, I organized a lot of equipment because I was afraid that I will not run, and soon I have the Olympics. So I organized a lot of equipment, and I actually opened the gym at my backyard. So if you wanna sign, text me later, and then I'll send you to my gym at my home. So I trained at home, and that's what I did at isolation.
So I'll happily come and work out with you, although I'm not sure how long I'll last. I want to ask you what it's like to represent Israel on the world stage, because I imagine most people watching can only imagine what it's like to win a gold medal for your country when you're abroad representing Israel. What does that feel like?
To represent a small country in this big world that takes so much attention. It's first of all, I'm so proud to represent my country because it's not like an American to win in America. Every achievement brings a lot of pride to Israel because we don't have a lot of achievements, and the Israeli pride and to hear the anthem all over the world, I feel in a mission. I feel in a mission because we have a lot of ties with a lot of countries, and a lot of countries don't like Israel and want to hide Israel in this world. I can tell you, Iran don't recognize Israel, and there is some countries that going in this direction. So I'm so proud to represent Israel and to feel in a mission, and to see what it does in Israel and in the Jewish nation all over the world. So I feel blessed, and I'm very proud.
And we're proud of you. Tell us about, there's so much I want to talk about because I want to talk about your career and some of the amazing things that have happened during your career. But let's go back and talk about how you got into all this. Let's talk maybe about your family first. Where your family, originate from, and tell us a little bit about when you were growing up.
So my grandfather and grandmother from both sides came from Yemen. They came, and my parents born in Israel. I born in Netanya. I live in Netanya now all of my life. It's actually near to Wingate, where is my training center. And my parents support me all over the way since I'm 5 years old, since I started judo. And on the start, it was as a hobby, but slowly it became more professional. I can tell you a story. In the age of 8, my judo club moved from Netanya, from my own city, to Tzoran. So it means it's around 30-40 minutes drive. And I was training that period 4 or 5 times a week. And at the same year, I went to Maccabi Netanya Football Club tests. I make a goal, and then they invite me to the team. So I had to choose. In the same year, these 2 things happens, and my parents came to me and asked me so simply, where do I want to go? When I was 8 years old, I didn't know the causes of keep doing with judo. It's a lot of sacrifice for my parents. I just go with my heart. I choose judo, and from that, my father came with me 2.5, 3 hours every day to the judo club and take me to there and bring me back, stay with me. And my mom always supported me. So the first thing that I did when I came back with the medal from World Championship in Tokyo is to put on them the medal, because and take a picture of that with them, smile, because I know when next time I had a bad time, maybe injury or not, I will not have motivation. I will look at my parents. I will remind myself for who I fight, and this will bring me the motivation so fast.
Amazing. And we actually have a little photo here of young. This is young Sagi Muki. Look, this is young Sagi.
That's nice. Yeah.
Judo. How old are you here?
I believe around 7.
Around
6,
7 years old.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, very young.
And I heard you talk about, I mean, judo is a sport about values. So I know that you've spoken in the past about the values that you spoke just now about the values that your parents have given you. And in fact, you mentioned that when you used to get a medal as a child, your father would tell you something. What would he tell you?
Yes, actually, as a kid, I went on some podiums and I got medals. And every time I came to my father, he always told me, my father and my mother always told me, put the medal at the pocket. They didn't want the other kids to feel bad that they didn't get a medal. And I was educated on my parents' values. I think they were the best parents in the world, and I'm so glad, and I want to say them thank you in this broadcast right now.
and I know they're watching, because your mom already texted me on Instagram to say she's watching. I want to give you a shout out. We've got people who are watching from around the world, Sagi. We've got here from Belgium, from Brazil, from Mexico, obviously from Israel, from Canada, from the UK, from New York, from Los Angeles. Yeah, from Costa Rica and more. So please tell us where you're tuning in from. And you can also send us questions, and I'll put them to Sagi at the end of our conversation. Sagi, so how do you feel when you compete in a country like Abu Dhabi, right? You mentioned countries that may not like Israel so much. Not only did you compete in Abu Dhabi, but we heard the Hatikva played, Israel's national anthem played in Abu Dhabi. How does that feel?
Wow, I will take you back a little bit. In 2015, it was the first time that I went to Abu Dhabi. A lot of problems, we faced a lot of problems with Abu Dhabi. They didn't want us there. They didn't recognize Israel as a country. And when we got there, I was fighting, but without the Israeli flag. I won the bronze medal. And when I go on the podium, they put a white patch on the flag on my chest. And they go on the podium without the flag. The other opponents were with their flags, but I remember it was hard for me to fight without my flag, because I'm so proud to represent Israel and to all over the world. And it was very hard for me, but it's a point that I was need for the Olympics at Rio, so I should do that. And but we see in 2018. That I fly there with the flag. I can tell you what happened in 2015. It brought me so much motivation to win there, because I knew that I had the opportunity to sound the anthem in an Arab country that didn't recognize us before. And I did it. I managed the gold medal, and I'm standing up. All the stadium is standing up for the Tikva. And it was so emotional moment for me, historical moment, because all over the world heard about it. The CNN making an interview with me, the BBC, the Prime Minister is calling me when I go down the podium and telling me that I helped the national efforts. 1 week before, it was in Oman. And to see the normalization between the country, that they didn't recognize us, and now we are fighting there with the flag. And for the first time, the anthem, it sounds in an Arab country. Who could think about that? I don't think I would think about that when I was fighting without the flag in 2015, but this is amazing. I can see the normalization and understand that the the sports is the bridge for, is doing what the politics can do. It's the bridge for that. It's connecting nations, it's connecting countries, and I'm so happy that I could help in this important purpose.
And I should tell our audience watching around the world that here in Israel, because of their success, Israeli judokas are celebrities. I mean, you guys are celebs. Your coach, Oren Smadja, Ori Sasson, Yarden Jelbi, Peter Palchik, Tal Flicker, the legendary Yael Arad. I mean, these names are very well-known names in Israel, and you're extremely famous here. And so I wanted to ask you, you know, Israel has had 9 Olympic medals, and 5 of them have come from judo, and you're going to be competing, please God, next year in Tokyo 2021. What role do Israelis, what role have they played in the history of judo globally? And why is it that in judo, it's in judo, that Israel has excelled so much?
I think we have a tradition in the sports. We get a medal from European Championships, World Championships, also Olympics. We have a tradition, and but I think before it, we are warriors in our blood. We see Israel, we see our history, that we didn't give up with all of the wars that we going through, and I think this is in our blood. And when I'm going to fight abroad Israel in the competitions, in everywhere, I feel in a mission. I feel that I'm fighting not just for me, also for my country, for the Israel and for the Jewish nation. I can tell you that brings me extra motivation to win. And I think also, I think there is also a good people in a good position that help the judo success. If it's the people that on the Israeli Judo Federation, also Moshe Ponti, and if it's the coach, that's Oren Smadja. So they bring us they are guide us, and they are behind us, and they push us.
Amazing success. We have thousands of people who are watching, Sagi. I'll give you more shout outs from Sweden, from South Africa, from Norway, from Washington in the USA, from Mississippi, from Michigan, from Malaysia. So you're right about sport bringing people together, Sweden and Liverpool in the UK. I'll put your questions to Sagi at the end of our conversation. So please keep telling us where you're tuning in from and give us your questions. We're live and interactive on Stand With Us Connect. Sagi, I want to talk about the famous incident when an Iranian player, a judoka, refused to shake hands with you after your match, which you won. And then after that, you reached out.
Not Iranian, it's the Egyptian guy.
Egyptian, I apologize,
yeah.
Egyptian. And so tell us about that and what the relationship has been since with players that may come from countries that don't love Israel so much.
It's not that easy to see people of all the world that don't know me, the effect from the politics and from what they heard. It's not that I don't like to see that. I like when the sport, the sport need to be clean without politics. And when the people involve the politics, want them to know me, and they just don't like me because where I'm from, this is not my way. And when the Egyptian guy didn't want to shake my hand because I'm Israeli, so it was sad for me. It was sad, but I still go to shake his hand. It doesn't matter who win or lost. I will do it again. I will come and shake his hand because I will show him the real face of Israel. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. This is judo, and the sport. It's based on this value. You need to respect your opponent. And this is the values that I also grew up at home, and it doesn't matter, next time we will face, it doesn't matter who win or lost, I will shake his hand. I will go to shake his hand, and I will hope he will change his mind next time.
We have lots of questions coming in from our audience. I'll ask you one more, and then we'll hand over to them. So what's to come? What goals have you set yourself for your career?
Since I'm a kid, I dream to be on the top of the podium in the hardest competitions. In European Championship, I did it twice in Baku 2015 and in Tel Aviv in 2018. This is the first time that we host a big competition, and it's European Championship. And I won the gold medal in front of the Israeli crowd. 5,000 people was coming to cheer me in that day. It was on Friday, and they missed the Friday dinner to see me in the finals. And 5,000 people missed this dinner to cheer me, and it was amazing to finish with the gold medal. Of course, World Championships that I managed to do gold medal in Tokyo 2019, and of course the Olympics. I trained very hard to get to be on the top of the podium, and I will do everything to be there.
And you will be. You will be. We believe it. Before we go to our audience questions, we have a little surprise. Let's take a look at some video, some highlights from your amazing career so far.
Gold medal goes to Sagi Muki of Israel.
Wow. So, I mean, I'm getting chills. How does it feel when you watch that back?
It brings me all the emotions that was there. It's an amazing feeling. I can't explain to what happens there, to see all the Abu Dhabi citizens standing up for the anthem country. You think that something, you understood that something big happened, and I will keep trying to do my best. I told you, I feel an ambassador, not just for Israel, also to the message that I want to spread to this world, message of peace. We saw the normalization in Abu Dhabi, and we saw what happened with the Egyptian guy, but next time I hope we could hug. It doesn't matter, I told you, win or lose. And also, we didn't speak about my friend, the Iranian Said Mulai, who couldn't fight against me because the government didn't allow him, because Iran don't recognize Israel. And each time we could face, they told him to lose purpose. And also in World Championship, he could face me, but they forced him to lose purpose. And then after World Championships, he didn't come back to Iran. He went to Germany, and now he is representing Mongolia. He will not represent Iran in the Olympics. And his family in Iran, but it's a big story. But we are good friends. And it doesn't matter that he's from Iran. And he's also look at me. It doesn't matter I'm from Israel. We could be friends. He's an amazing person. And this friendship is a big message to this world. It doesn't matter where are you from. We can all be friends. It doesn't matter because that you are from Iran. You know, I get a lot of messages from Iranian people, and I see so many Israelis that support Said, that what he are going through. It's not that easy to leave your country, to leave your family, and he's also actually get a lot of messages. Iran don't make him easy life. I will say it like that.
And we send him our best. It was an amazing thing to see how your friendship play out on the world stage. and a real inspiration and example to others. And we send our best to Saeed. What an incredible moment that was. We have people watching from Finland, from the Cayman Islands, from Northern Ireland, from Boston, from Miami. And we have questions for you, Sagi, from the audience. So I'll give you a first question from Dan. He's in London. And he says, what's your advice on how people can stay active when they're in lockdown during the coronavirus? What can they do to stay active?
That's a nice question. I can tell you that on the first lockdown in Israel, I started 2 projects. The first project was to help the Israeli people and to my followers in Instagram to move themselves, to be more active in the lockdown, because I saw how the people is not doing much because they don't have special equipment and they don't know what to do. And they in front of the TV, they sit on the couch, they lie, they eat, and they are not doing any activity. So I called this project the daily exercise, and I brought them every day unique and challenging exercise that they can do with any stuff that they have at home, chair or every stuff that they have at home. And I can tell you that spread all of Israel. A lot of people tag me and taking part in this project. Actually, I still have it on the highlights Instagram, all the exercise that I did. And it looks like we are going to second lockdown. So I think I will keep motivated them and give them some unique exercise that they can do at home. Because it's hard to be at home, and you need to have this drive.
So you heard it here first. You've got no excuse. Follow Sagi on Instagram and do all of his routines. Try and keep up with him. We have a question here from Sarah in New York. She says, what age is good for kids, for children to start training in judo?
Every kid can start in. It's never too late. It's never too early. I think every kid can go to judo if he's 10 years old or 6 years old. I think this sport is inside of him a lot of values of respect and know to respect each other, and is also helping you with the self-confidence, and it's also good for the muscle when you're a kid. Your kid can go in each age.
My boys started judo very young. It didn't take them very long to beat their father. Sagi, I have more questions from you. Here's Bonnie from Florida, and she says, how difficult is it going to be to train for another additional year for the Olympics?
It's not that easy because I had a plan after the Olympics. I had a lot of plans. I had because now I train one more year, and then if I want to keep going for the Olympics at Paris 2024, I have only 3 years to prepare for that, and the holiday that I planned after the Olympics is getting short because now I have less than 1 year. So for me, I will do everything for my dream, and this is the reality. So the moment I decide that I'm going to it and put all the frustrated behind me, I'm there. It's not that easy, but this is the reality, and I keep training hard, and I have 1 more year to be on my best performance in this day.
It's a unique challenge this year. Laura in Mexico City says, who is your #1 hero?
My #1 hero, my dad. He's special for me because I told you, he took me 4 or 5 times a week to train judo and support me all the way. Stay with me 3 hours in the training, drives me, stay with me, and take me back until I got my driving lesson. So his support is so meaningful for me, and I owe him everything.
We have a question from Mordi in Los Angeles. He says, do you get a lot of hate online for being Israeli?
I can tell you that I get some hard messages from some people, also from all over the world. But this is only the 10% that the extremely to the other side. So I know it's that don't bother me, because I get also a lot of positive messages from all over the world, from a lot of countries, including Arab countries. They follow me, so I focus on that.
That's great. Omri in Tel Aviv says, if you could compete anywhere in the world or against anyone, where would it take place and who would it be?
If I'm choosing a country, it will be Japan. And if I'm choosing a guy, I will choose Said Mulai. I think the moment we face, it will be an amazing match, not just because he's a strong guy, because this is a victory of the sports on the politics. This is a big message we can spread to this world, and it will do a big change in this world. And I hope we will face one day. And of course, I want to be on the top of the podium, but since we are facing each other, the love between us and the sport just won.
How cool would that be to see you face your Iranian friend on the world stage? I would like to be there and watch that happen. It sounds amazing. So let's hope it can. Alex is in London, and she says, or he says, what's the toughest part about being a judoka?
There's a lot of, we are going through a lot of challenges. I can tell you the biggest challenge that I had in my career was that 1 month before the Olympics at Rio in 2016. 1 month before the Olympics, I got 2 herniated discs to my low back. And I went to Olympics at Rio as a European champion. I was ranking 3rd in the world rankingly, so I became as an athlete that should bring a medal, an Olympic medal to Israel. A lot of expectation from all of Israel and all of the Jewish nation all over the world. And 1 month before, I get 2 herniated discs to my low back. I tried to do judo, but I couldn't. You can imagine that my mom was put for me socks 2 weeks before the Olympics. It's crazy to imagine. I got pills, I got physiotherapy. I went from one doctor to other, and I got 2 injections to my low backs. So this was so frustrated. But something in myself was very optimistic, and I still believed in myself because all of my way before, and I knew what I can do. And I fly to the Olympics without good preparation. I was on 30% of myself. I couldn't, my mom put me socks 2 weeks before the Olympics, so it's hard to imagine that. But I still believe that I can be on the podium. And I think this optimistic, my optimistic helped me to manage to the semi-final, to win 3 fights, and to finish on the 5th place. It wasn't easy for me, but by the days I understood how big what I did there and what I taken from there. So I got a lot of meaning after the Olympics. Something inside of me changed. When I do lectures, one of the kids asked me, Sagi, do you think you could be world champion without what happened in Rio, without your injury? And I thought, wow, this is a good question. I can tell you, I can't answer this because I know from this period I got, when I get over that, I understand on myself something in myself that nothing can break me. And I felt that I'm getting back much stronger. So we can see, so I don't know what to tell him. I didn't have an answer for him.
It's a good answer. There was a lot there. There was a lot there for us to learn from. Aaron is in Illinois, and he says, who is your favorite judoka? You might get in trouble now with your friend.
I don't have a specific one, but I like the Japanese style. The Japanese style is amazing. The technique is so pure, and actually they the strongest country in the world in judo, and we are flying there every year to train and to compete. And I love Japan. The trainings are amazing, the people are amazing, and I love to fly there every time again.
Well, you're going to fly there next summer when you represent this country, Israel, in the Olympics, and we can't wait for that. Sagi, we're almost out of time. What's your final message for the viewers, the followers of Stand With Us who support Israel all around the world?
First of all, I want to thank you everyone for support the Israeli people. I can feel all of your support with my journey, and I can tell you that I did one more project in the period with this coronavirus, that I put equipments of mine for sale to raise money against the war, against the coronavirus. And I can tell you that I raised up almost $500,000 shekel, and it's around $150,000. And one of the donators that actually at the top of the sale was my judo uniform that I was fighting with there in the World Championships in Tokyo. That with this I made an history and become a world champion. And I was selling it there, and he bought there, but he say, I will buy it in one condition. I want the judo uniform stay with you. He wanted me to, and this was so, because it was amazing that he's helping the Israeli people in this hard period of the coronavirus, but he was also thinking about me. So this is amazing, and he told me that he's following me for a long of time, for a lot of years, and he told me, I want you to know that the Jewish nation is with you all over the world. He wanted to tell me that all over the world you are not alone, and this is amazing. So thank you for your support. I can feel it everywhere in this world, in every competition, and keep being the best nation, the best country, and I'm proud to represent you.
Sagi, thank you so much for speaking with us, and to the fans of Stand With Us, of Israel, and of judo all around the world. We take so much pride in you. You're our champion, and I know that everyone watching will be cheering you on throughout your career. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the best. Wow, what a champ. Don't forget, you can access all of our shows at our brand new platform, Stand With Us TV. That's at StandWithUs.tv. Easy, StandWithUs.tv on your browser or your phone. It was a pleasure to connect with you today, together with the fabulous Sagi Muki. If you can't come to Israel, we'll bring Israel to you. Thank you for standing with us, and shalom from Israel.